Good evening, curling fans. Welcome to the 2016 Pacific Northwest Mixed Doubles Invitational here from the Granite Curling Club here in Seattle, Washington. This webcast is brought to you by the Curling Champions Tour, the 12th End Sports Network, Washington State Curling Association, and the Granite Curling Club. Behind us in the booth is Chris Rimple. My name is Doug Kaufman, and I am joined here by Brady Clark, three-time mixed U.S. national champion for mixed doubles. Too many to count for the four-person thing. Do you even play that one anymore?
Too many to count.
Too many to count, yes.
Yeah, getting too old.
Yep. We'll be showing you the action this evening on sheet 4, actually, because we have 4 quarterfinal games. Starts the playoff round. If you'd like to contact us during this webcast, please email us at webcast@curlwa.org or tweet us at @TESNWA. Our featured game that we'll be focusing on will be the team of Corey Dropkin, Jamie Sinclair versus
Nancy Martin and Catlin Schneider.
There we go.
From Saskatoon. So
yes. The Nutana Curling Club.
Yes, it should be a great game. You know, look at these first couple shots have already come down, and you just see a lot of great shots. Already 3 rocks packed into the forefoot.
Yep.
So, Doug, you've been up here in the booth a few times this week, and you've been watching a lot of probably so-so curling at times, and other times some great curling, right? I mean, it's been a little bit of a mixture out there.
Well, you get the occasional miss still, just like in regular curling. A little bit tougher when you have one person shooting, one person sweeping, and sometimes you have a skip, sometimes you don't. So you tend to see a miss a little bit more often here. Can't be quite as precise when you don't have the 2 sweepers and the skip always watching. But overall, we got some unbelievable teams here. We got a lot of teams out there with the Team USA jacket on. A few great teams down here from Canada. So, no, curling overall has been fantastic.
Yeah, and the ice conditions have been, fabulous. I heard just athletes raving about it all weekend, and I will tell you it's been the best ice we've had. The only time I think our ices have been better is maybe or the same as when we've had nationals. These guys have just done a great job this week, so thanks to our ice crew doing just a great job for these athletes.
It's been about 25, a little over, 25 and a half seconds from...
Yeah, and I'm throwing, just for context, I'm throwing about a 4:10 to 4:20 split for people who do split times from the back line out to the hog line. So pretty quick ice. It's it feels closer to 26 to 26 and a half, but it's actually timing out at 25 to 25 and a half. So.
Yep. All right. Well, we got 4 rocks that have been thrown and 5 rocks in the forefoot already here. Catlin Schneider throwing the middle 3 rocks for their team. Mixed doubles again when player A will shoot the first and last rock of that team, and then the other player will shoot rocks 2, 3, and 4. So 5 rocks shot per team per end.
How many rocks can you pack into a forefoot?
We're going to know in a minute here.
In an earlier game, we had 7 rocks in the forefoot.
Yeah.
At one point.
Well, 6 in there so far.
Yep.
I think we can beat it.
Pretty, this has been pretty, we've seen this quite a bit, where after 5, 6 rocks, they're all packed in around the forefoot, and now you're talking about, okay, how hard do you want to hit this? You want to jiggle this around? You want to hit this on the inside, flop over? Having not played any mixed doubles myself, but just watching the game, it looks like a fascinating game as far as strategy. It just it seems like it heightens all everything. The chance to score a bunch of points. The misses are that much more important. The makes are that much more important.
Yeah, ends can quickly get out of hand in this game if you miss a couple shots. That first shot in the end is real critical. If you come down there and make a decent rock, getting on top of the rock on the back forefoot, it's going to be a lot of rocks probably in the forefoot on that end. But if you throw it and miss it, and the other team buries one around there, you're chasing all end.
Yep. And all end doesn't last nearly as long as in a normal curling game when you're throwing all 8 stones. Here you're just throwing 5 each, so not a whole lot of time to try to fix any errors you make early in the end.
That is correct.
All right, so what do we got? Who's lying what here?
Well, I was just trying to take a little look at that, and we are packed around the button here. I I'm looking red 1, and I think that they are sitting 3rd and 4th. So yellow's probably 2nd, and I believe the Martin rink is sitting 3rd and 4th. And then we've got a scattering of a few other ones for the Dropkin Sinclair rink.
Yep, and just trying to drop another one in there, maybe throwing a guard at this point. Tough to say.
I want him to throw an 8th rock in there. I want to
There
get
we
up
go.
to that 8.
Let's count them up. Well, that's the other thing, too, that get a little bit of a disadvantage here in the booth since there are only 2 people or typically right next to each other, so they're talking to each other about the shot, not really showing it on the ice. So up here in the announcer's booth, we're kind of left guessing a little bit as to what the shot call is. Look at that. 4 red rocks, 4 yellow rocks, all sitting half in the 4 foot or better. Love it.
It's good to know at least 8 fit in there.
Yep.
Clearly 9 maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. There's I think it's going to be time to maybe consider moving some granite for Corey. It's always a matter of how early do you make that move. I thought Corey maybe should have moved on a shot earlier, but you know what? He's out there playing. I'm right up here.
Man, by the way, sorry that you are up here announcing with me. I appreciate it, but I know you'd much rather be out there.
Yeah, I would like to be out there, but you know what? These teams all played great, and they're all 4-1 or better, and so you finish 3-2. You can't count on being out there.
Tough, like you said, tough brackets here. A lot of really good teams from all over the land.
Yeah, we're pretty thankful that all these teams made the commitment. We got a huge commitment from our high-performance teams here in the U.S., and we got several of the past Canadian national champs and a lot of their other top competitors coming out here. So
great.
It's going to be even bigger and better next year, so we're excited about that.
Excellent. Turn this into a week-long deal. Get about 64 teams playing in this thing.
Kind of like the April spiel.
I love it. 24 hours of mixed doubles.
Round the clock.
All right, Corey Dropkin now. In-turn hit, sweeping this to get around the center.
Looked a little soft on the release and clipped the front.
Is that what you've been noticing in the playing out here? Very release sensitive with the ice being the swingy as it is?
Absolutely. It's playing a lot like, your championship quality ice where you've got to be real positive with the release. You throw it, soft or real quiet release, you're seeing a lot more movement, and it's even our hits are moving out here. I mean, there's some spots that you get maybe a little bit of run if you set it with a little bit of weight, but in general, almost every shot's got some movement on it. So getting 4 to 5 feet of curl.
Sounds like an event that I have no interest in playing in then.
Ooh. I don't know, Doogie.
Can't set it and get away with it?
Doogie,
Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking you can. You actually can on this ice, so you should totally play.
All right, I'm in.
I think this is your game. Like the 4-foot's always in your back pocket, except you like to tap, so you might be playing taps instead of these draw around. But
I've been playing the ticks. It seems like lately, playing the little wiki ticky,
yellow wiki ticky,
Ricky ticky tabby.
Well, it's be interesting to see what this shot call is.
Yeah. How many quads have you ever tried to call before?
Oh, plenty. Doesn't mean I make them.
Yours always involved a wheel, though. It seems like for yours.
I actually think 3 of these go. And but I think he loses a lot. I don't know if he's going to want to really smash this.
Well, she is not smashing.
Yeah, I think I'd just...
Is another draw.
Yep. 9 in there. I mean, just tap that yellow one maybe a little bit and kind of move.
Nancy Martin.
Yep.
In turn.
Catlin going hard on this one.
Yep.
Looking pretty good. I think this is...
This should be an awesome game. Nancy Martin, Catlin Schneider, they actually lost the first game to Corey Dropkin and Jamie Sinclair, and then have rattled off 4 straight, and it seems like in those 4 victories, a couple of them that I watched, they won pretty handily. So Nancy, I know, has been doing really well with her first rock, just getting that thing frozen on that back rock, and boy, that put some pressure on that team with the hammer right off the bat.
Yeah, it sure does.
So still looks like yellow is second shot.
Well, 3 of them are standing around it.
Yeah, they're taking a close look. With overhead camera, at least from our angle, seems to show yellow is second.
All right.
Wow.
1 left.
So Jamie might be forced to throw this one away, it looks like.
Yep.
She says, I'm not taking any chances here. We'll just give you if Chris is right about 1 point, it would be a steal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of them in there. Wow. There we go. All right.
That is great. So they're going to try to figure out how to take that one rock out.
Clean up on aisle 4.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to go get the stick, so we're measuring.
So it looks like they're probably measuring for second count.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay. Quickly, we'll go over the brackets while they're measuring this rock as to all of our quarterfinalists. Congratulations to get this far. Like I said, 4-1 or better you needed to have to get here, and that's pretty good with this field. So over on sheet 5, we've got top-seeded Dustin Kaltoff and Marliese Kasner. They were the only team that went undefeated in their pool play, playing 8th-seeded Tyler Tardy and Desiree Haas. We're on sheet 4, so you know who that is. Over on sheet 2, we have Charlie Thomas and Kaylin Park playing Croy Nurnberger and Nina Roth. And then over on sheet 1, our tiebreaker winner who played earlier, that would be Derek McLean.
And Alex Carlson,
and they're playing Joe Polo and Tab Peterson, and that is what ends up being the 2-7 seeded game. Although all these teams are, anybody could win any of these.
Oh yeah, these are all great teams.
Yep.
I mean, you know, the Kaltoff rink, they were the Canadian. They were at the Worlds. I think they got third at the Canadians last year, but they got to represent Canada at the Worlds. And 2015 was Charlie and Kaylin.
Yep.
They represented 2015 at the Worlds. So, yeah, we've got some great talent out here.
All right, Brady. So you got super swinging ice. We are in the tightest position for the guard that is allowed in mixed doubles. And even with that, there is no problem getting to the nose of the rock that's in the rings. What do you like this one? Do you like freezing this one? Do you like top button on this one? If you had your ideal position and you could just put it somewhere.
Yeah, it's tough, but I think that I prefer, you know, the front edge of my rock to be biting the button.
Okay.
And, you know, it's not bad, though. I mean, I'll take coming down and freezing on that rock all day.
Yep.
You just don't want to come down and bounce off of it. You also don't really want to leave a rock, in my opinion, up in the top 12.
Yep. Little tap, that's okay too, right? Just push it back as long as you get to the nose of it.
I like that. I don't
Yep.
mind moving it back at all, and just kind of pushes the play back. And they've got to come down and play probably a freeze or a little tap on you. And
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. What are you seeing? What are you seeing most of these teams? It seems like people play to the backing, or they.
It seems like they've been playing to the backing. I would have thought that full 4 foot would have been good enough, but it doesn't seem like anybody's really trying to put their rock there. They're trying to come top button or get all the way to the back one.
Yeah.
Either of those.
I think the reason, you know, in my opinion, is that, you know, if you go top 4, the other team can, because the ice is swinging so much, you can come and tap that back, and so then they're staying still in front of the tee line, and at that point they still are not able to hit.
Yep.
So I think you know, you go all the way down to the top button, because it gives them, if you tap them and roll, they're right on the tee line, and so you're kind of positioning. It's all about
there
the
we
positioning.
Go. See, I knew there would be an answer.
Well, it doesn't mean it was right.
Jamie Sinclair with her first, just rubs off the top guard, just gets it off the center line, rolls for a little corner.
We haven't seen the score hung, but it looks like we've updated it, and that we had a steal. We think it was a steal of 1.
Okay.
However, we're not quite certain yet.
Catlin Schneider now throwing his first rock of the end. Second rock for their team. Trying to draw in there, is just hanging out a little bit. Ends up rubbing the corner guard. Slides in for center, just biting the 12-foot. Not sure there's a in-turn draw available. Can't tell with that port where our angle's a little bit. Not sure you can go with the in-turn, although they are throwing the in-turn, so I guess you can.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's there. I think the out-turn might be just as easy, but, you know, Corey's a seasoned pro. He'll probably navigate it easily.
There we go. Oh, nice. In-turn draw. Corey Dropkin. Shots away, going to sweep his own. Sweeping a little bit, just more of a heavy clean. Let it go. Now he's going on it. This rock will turn. It's coming now. Sweeping hard to get around that red top 12 rock. Looks like it might come up, rub that a little bit. Just flop over. Pushes Team Martin's rock over to the side a bit. All right. Nancy Martin now calling for just a straight draw. Out turn. What have we been getting for curl out there, Brady? A little over 4 feet?
Yeah, you know, it depends a little bit on your rotation in general. Probably about 4 feet is in general what we've been seeing most games getting. So some up to 5 feet if you throw it a little softer, you hit a little bit more of a swing spot.
So Lisa would be about 6.5 feet then?
You know, I'd say Lisa probably 6 to 7.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
give or take.
Especially with that intern.
Yeah, that thing is going to work. That's one of those
Nice.
things where you just can't follow it.
Yeah, nope, nor would you want to. All right, that was a great shot. Just rubbed off that corner red stone and redirected it right frozen to their own. Nice shot there.
Yeah, they're just coming out firing. They look like they're on their game right now.
Yep.
So
fun to watch that. It's always fun when you get teams right off the bat and they're throwing good shots right off the bat. Because this mixed game, it goes quick. Hour and a half, you're done. You only got 5 rocks per side. There's not a lot of time in the end. It goes quickly.
yeah, I know. There's some games where I swear you're done in an hour and 15 even, and it's pretty amazing. And it's a fun game. You know,
Yeah.
there's just so much going on.
Yep. All right.
Corey bringing some heat here.
Bringing
Looks
some
like,
heat.
You know, this is always where you see the rocks hanging when people are just a little positive, and so you see Corey's just kind of hang the whole way there.
Just hit the outside of it. Got a little bit unlucky to drive it through the hole there without even hitting that top 8 foot. He would have been fine because you could have actually get one where you bounce off that and go into the pile there. He would have loved that.
That would have been good fortune.
All right. Probably replacing the guard. Yep. I'm going to put that right back where it was.
I like it. Good call.
And very quickly, 4 rocks left. That's it. That's all you get. Try and play a guard right in between those other two, probably about the same distance as well. 2.5, 3 guard. Wouldn't mind getting a hair closer than that and maybe taking that yellow raise away if needs be.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough, though, to take that away, I feel like. But, you know, with 3 more rocks, you got to wonder if this is a shot where you, again, clear.
Yep.
Corey's looking like he wants to play this thin double. But I'll tell you, if you don't make that, then they're going to be wrapping around those double staggered guards, and you're going to be running a rock from the
3.
side 4 foot against 3.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm surprised Corey doesn't clear, but, you know.
Boy, that's thin, too, isn't it?
Oh.
I mean, hit that super thin.
Yeah.
Can be done.
Absolutely.
All right. Just super thin. Hit off the red, come into the pile. Is he trying to hit it, or is it straight draw in
he's
there?
hitting. He's definitely hitting, but he's just playing a soft hit weight.
Wants it to come over.
Waiting for it to move. He's going to play hit and flop on top of it, maybe.
Okay. Hits. Rolls towards the center. I don't think he wanted to roll quite that far if he wasn't going to make the shot, because then he could access it potentially with his last. That one seems like it's around cover. I don't know if you're going to be able to promote that one anymore, right?
No, I think you're absolutely right. And then the right side, from a shooter's perspective, left side from our viewpoint, is, you know, they don't have access now. If they would have went on that, I think they were still holding on to shot A, and you know, if they could have hung it out there, they would have probably loved that.
Yep. So, Team Martin now doesn't really have an option to come on to their on top of their own 2, so they may be guarding that yellow corner raise at this point.
Absolutely. That's definitely what I would be doing, is just taking away that yellow angle run, because that'd be for 2 or 3 potentially.
Yep. All right. 2 guard. Anything in front of that yellow? Just make sure you don't line it up. It's the big thing.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. They're trying to guard a rock on the edge of the forefoot, and I probably would have played personally the out turn, thinking that, but she obviously went out wide to.
Yep.
Because to be able to hold on to that line.
Great shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot. That's not an easy shot because
Nope.
you're going out into the weeds.
Yeah.
And she's probably aiming off the edge of the sheet to get that rock to stop there. Because as you go out further, it seems like that break point is just breaking in there a little bit earlier. So that was well placed. So now I'm not sure what they're probably going to play like a light hack weight type.
I don't think so. I think she's going to throw a heater down here. I think she's going to try to go through that port and just pick that top red.
Oof, tough shot.
That is a tough shot. That is not a big port there. And unfortunately, we're not right behind the sheet since we're right behind sheet 3. I can't really get a view, but that thing looks fully buried from here, but
she must be able to see a piece if she's bringing weight. So, it's possible.
And she is. Here it comes. In turn. Will not be able to sweep, so it's all on the throw here.
It looks close. It looks very close.
Oh, just tipped the top guard there. So, T. Martin, big steal of 2 here in the second. One thing that I've learned very quickly is, it's really nice to be ahead, but boy, no lead is safe. You get a 3-point lead in a normal curling game early, and potential to get pretty boring pretty quick. Team playing defense, peeling air out of the ends. So you don't get a chance to peel out of these ends because you can't remove any rocks until the 4th rock's thrown.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. This game can change real quickly.
I forget what game I was broadcasting the other day, 2 nights ago, but one team scored 3 in the first, and then the other team scored 6 in the second, right back at them. So
yeah, I'll see your 3, and I'll up it by 3.
Yeah, yep.
So I'd just like to give a shout out to the fact that we've just announced that the National Championship tickets are now on sale. You can purchase your tickets to the 2017 USCA National Championships, going to be hosted at Xfinity Arena in Everett, Washington. Ticket prices are going to be ranging from $10 to $25 daily. There's all kinds of ticket packages out there. We are super excited. This club is partnering with Snohomish County, and we're excited to be having that host in Everett, Washington. If you want to learn more, go to http://www.usacurlingnationals2017.com.
Yep.
It's going to be February 11th to the 18th.
Yeah. Xfinity Arena, that's where the Everett Silvertips play. Outstanding arena for hockey. Going to be a great arena for curling. Up on one end, they have kind of on what would be their second level. That's going to be kind of where the beer garden area is. You can actually see the ice from there. Going to be a great atmosphere. We're really looking forward to hosting. Plus, it's in a great part of town there too. A lot of watering holes, let's call them, within walking distance of the Xfinity Arena and then the Players Hotel. So, yep, going to have to work on some curfews.
We'll start talking about that right away.
Yeah.
Doug, do you mean your curfew?
Well, whoever's up there. All right, so here we go. Game on here in the third. Nancy Martin, great draw on her first one. Freeze tap, just taps a little bit. Jamie Sinclair then follows it right up. Freezes on top of that. Now then, Catlin Schneider trying to do the exact same thing. We're going to try to set a personal best here for stacked rocks right in a row here.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Wants to get this around.
Hard. I did not think Catlin was going to get that.
Boy, I know. That looked short when he threw it, didn't it? Got it all the way there. What outstanding sweeping. Sitting on top again. All right. Now, is this what's referred to as the Christmas tree here?
The Christmas tree. Well,
I've heard that term in curling, and I have no idea what that is. What is a Christmas? I'm serious. I've heard the. Is that it or is that not it? I don't even know what that is.
The Christmas tree. Well, it's easier if I had like little visual rocks to show you what the Christmas tree is.
So that's not it, is what you're saying.
No.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. Make me sound stupid then. Great.
We'll work on. I don't know. Maybe you call it a Christmas tree. You can call it.
I don't know what it's called. Just tell me what it's called. Is there a term for what that is? Just
they're just the rocks stacked in the next row.
Just 3 frozen rocks. All right, fine.
Oh goodness. Some things don't change, Doogie.
All right.
It's fun to give you a hard time.
I'm getting a signal from the crowd here. We'll have to find that out at the fourth end break.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Yeah. Of which we don't have.
That's right.
All right. The stacking stopped at 3 consecutive rocks. Catlin Schneider now coming the other way. Try to freeze the other side. Do you freeze your own red? Are you trying to freeze the yellow here? Which one are you trying to freeze onto?
I feel like they've got to get down there, and they've got to try to juggle it. If they can jiggle the angles a little bit and shake it up, that would be ideal. Either that or freeze on the corner of that yellow one maybe. But like that, that looks good. You're frozen on there, but there's just, they got to move some rocks around. Right now, Sinclair shot rock on the button, and they're pretty much surrounded. Battle of the red.
Yeah, I think Catlin was probably fine with that because they don't have the hammer here. So, I mean, if you can't score or can't steal, I guess would be more accurate, Yeah. Juggle up a lot of things down there. Only give them 1.
That's a great point. I mean, a force in this game feels like a huge win.
Okay. All right. Out turn. We're going to move some rocks around. Looks like he's going to drive the red into the pile. Sweeping madly on this one. This rock might be over curling again. Gets by. It's the red. I think he wanted to hit that just a hair on the outside, didn't he? I don't think he hit that exactly where he wanted to.
Just missed probably where he wanted to hit it, but still a good shot.
And now he's going to be sending in his yellow one next if he tries that again. So big shot here. He wants to get around those 2 yellow rocks. Prevent that raise, whatever double takeout, whatever ends up being thrown. Same thing, trying to get down to his own. Freezing the yellow is not bad here.
These guys are just making a lot of shots. This is a lot of fun to see.
In turn, sweeping again for Wade, I think. Line looks pretty good, but it's going to pull up a little short here.
Which you're right, because of the situation here, it's really probably not a bad deal at all to come up a little late.
All right, Corey Dropkin now talking about where he wants to hit this. After he drives the yellow into the red, if he wants to hit it on the inside or the outside, or right on the nose.
Yeah, I think nose looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
And he just threw it, so. Watch how quickly Corey can get up out of his slide and get back up there.
It reminds me of one world-famous Travis Way in that regard when he throws the big weight, gets up, skates after it.
Yeah.
This one's not a big weight shot, just looking to tap this straight back. Sweeping. Very hard, trying to hold the line here.
Just playing a light tap weight.
Yep. Hits it right on the nose. Well done. Taps it straight into the pile. Nice sweeping there.
Wow. That was a nice shot.
What do we got there?
Looks like Dropkin's still sitting 1, and then is sitting the Martin Rink is sitting 2nd and 3rd, and Dropkin is sitting 4th and 5th. So you got 1-4-5 versus 2-3.
Got it. And 2-3, are they removable together?
Yeah, I think the angles are. They would be if you could get to the nose, but I think that where that yellow ended up, it's kind of staggered it. So I think it's going to be difficult to ever get rid of both of those reds at the same time.
Okay. So Red's looking to get another rock in there. A little protection rock could come all the way down to the yellow shot stone.
Yeah, and there's only one more rock to come for each team, so we got 2 more rocks.
There we go. It's end of the end is coming.
They come up quick, just
like
you told me earlier.
Yeah. It's great for speed of play. It's fantastic.
We'll do a little check-in maybe after the end of this.
For the other games.
And give a little update.
Good thinking. All righty. Nancy Martin now. Their last stone here in the 3rd. Jamie Sinclair still has one more to throw after this. Come down discussing exactly where they want this rock to end up.
I'm trying to think. They got to be thinking right now was what does Corey what do Corey and Jamie want to throw? If they don't do anything, what do they play? So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to play.
I think they're going to guard that yellow raise.
Yeah,
that's what I'm guessing.
After Corey got to throw it twice.
Yeah.
Hate to give that to them again.
Might be coming around it.
Looks like a guard, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Looks like a guard. It's over the line, curling a little bit. Doesn't want to line it up. Okay. All right. Guard successful.
Nicely done.
Yep. All right. All right. Talking about trying to tap their yellow one. The trick with tapping their own yellow one is it is overburied around the guard. That is about a foot short of the rings. So
I think they could tap, or they could come right down to it. If they get just by that guard, I think they could get down to it and draw and get 2 points potentially.
Shot for 2.
That's a tough shot.
Yeah, they can't bounce out very much. That top red one probably outcounts second if they bounce out too much. So it's pretty dead. They got to throw this in there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
okay.
It's going to be a challenge.
In turn, big shot for 2 here in the third. Rock is away. Light sweeping. Going to switch over to the side where try to get it to curl more if he needs to. Sweeping now. Line's looking pretty close here.
Yeah,
this is guard by a couple inches. It's got the line. Does it have the weight? No, just a little short. All right. So, Team Sinclair does score 1 here in the third. We have a 3-1 lead for Team Martin after 3 ends. We're going to give you updates here on the other ends. What do we got here, Brady?
Well, over on sheet 5, we've got Kaltoff Rink is up 3-0 in the third end, and so that's facing off against the Tardy and Haas Rink.
Yep, that's right.
So
I think they're up 4-0 actually.
Is it? Oh, it's up 4-0. Absolutely, I can't count, but that's okay.
You get that LASIK, you make enough money here in this game. Maybe get that LASIK, you'll be fine.
Yeah, this game is very lucrative.
What else we got?
We've got a 1-1 game on sheet 2 with Nina Roth and Croy Nurnberger playing Charlie and Kaylin Virtue.
Yep. Oh, that's right. It's Virtue. I keep putting Park on here.
Well, it was Park, so I think people will figure it out if you say that. But, yep, she has recently got married, I believe, to Brock. And over on sheet 1, we've got Joe Polo and Tabitha Peterson playing against Alex and Carlson and Derek McLean. And I believe that they picked up, Alex Carlson and McLean picked up 1 that end. So I think it's 2-1. Joe and Tabs have the hammer in the third end.
Okay, here we go. Back to our feature sheet. First rock here in the fourth. Brady likes it top button. Nobody else does, but that's all right. It happens. Pulls up a little short, top 8, but it is in front of the tee line, which is always good. Can always make that rock better.
Certainly better than when you bump and flop out to the back 8 or back 12. So, or when you crash the guard. Not that I would know.
Out turn now, looking to take advantage of the opportunity. Come to their own. This one definitely top button. You don't necessarily want to freeze your own rock and be behind the tee line here, right? You want to keep this above if you can.
I would love this one top 4 foot.
Yep.
And top button would be okay, but
coming in a little hot.
It's a little warm.
Comes down to their own. Hits it into the back 8-foot area. Jamie Sinclair taking a quick look, see who's second count. I'm going to go out on a limb and say neither one of those are going to be second count by the time we're done with this end.
I think that's fair to say, and I think regardless of whether it is, you probably know what the next shot is.
You might see which one's fifth count at some point.
That's right. Based on what we've seen so far, if you are not in the 4 foot, you do not matter.
You're at a disadvantage. Okay, out turn. Sweeping guessing for weight. Here it comes. Pulling that rock a long way, boy. Gets around the guard, nicely done. Does it get around the 8-foot rock? Yes, it does. Nicely done. Wow, did he do a lot of sweeping on that? Took that thing all the way to the pin. Nice work.
Yeah, Corey playing front end this year, playing second for the McCormick rink, and they've been off to a real hot start this season. So you got Tom Howell playing lead for them, and then you got Corey at second. You got Chris Plies at third, and Heater. They just won the Sarnia Spiel recently, and they also won the St. Paul Cash. So they're off to a real good start this season. So Corey working on his sweeping game, and looks like it's paying off.
Work there, yeah.
Okay, out turn, following down. Don't need to move that one, right? You can just kind of sit on top of that thing.
Yeah,
Do you like moving it a little bit, getting it off the pin?
I think you got to throw it. You know, you got to try to throw top four, a T line out of hand, and once the line's there, if you can move it, great. But a freeze is not bad at all.
Catlin Schneider also sweeping madly on his own. Trying to get this rock is curling. Wants to get around that guard. Wants to get around that 8-foot. Wants to come all the way down to it if he can. This rock's going to pull up a little bit short. It's going to be just above the yellow rock in the top 12-foot position. Room there to go around, and that is what Jamie Sinclair is asking.
Yeah, and that rock in the top 8-foot is kind of a nice control rock on the right-hand side of the center line. So she's just going to come around and see if she can't sit 1-2. Put a little pressure on him.
Anyway, you make a play on that red one that's sitting kind of back button, roll out of there just to have your yellows be, or no, do you want to leave that one there, just come down to it?
I'd probably just come down to it, but I couldn't argue with you if you said, hey, I'm going to just play down and a little hit and flop. Problem is, if you play that hit and flop, you got to make sure you flop enough that you don't leave a little in off.
Yep. Just coming down to it, trying to get right in the pocket here. Doesn't want to just flat freeze their own. I think they want to get on that red one a little bit.
Absolutely, and you don't really want to be short there, though.
Yeah.
You see Corey a little frustrated there, but
leaves an opportunity here.
It looks like those rocks here on this side of the sheet, at least compared to the other side of the sheet, are just coming down a little bit. You know, I don't think that side got as much action the first time we came back here in the second end, and it just looks like it's just moving a little more than they anticipate, and it's coming down a little harder.
Yep, could be. All right, Catlin Schneider now with an opportunity. You could make life pretty tough here on Team Sinclair. If he makes this double, he'd be lying, what, 1, 2, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even have this one stick around. I don't know if this shooter sticks around or not, depending on how hard he throws it. I'm guessing he's going to throw it pretty hard, so I'm guessing the shooter's not going to stick around.
I'm guessing you're right.
All right, here it comes. Just got to be on its own merits. Nobody sweeping this one. Rock's coming up. Nice shot. That one's out. Go ahead and kick that other one away. Nice shot. That was really done. Spilled his own, but got to take that yellow one out, don't you? Yeah. There we go. Nice call, Brady. Good job.
Yeah, you know.
It was definitely going to hit the boards, no question. Another rock came off the boards and stopped that one from going into the boards, but he had a lot of energy. That was definitely going to get into the boards. Okay.
So now back to talking about those rocks in the 8-foot.
Yep.
Now it matters again.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
See, I told you that one was gonna count. Told you that.
I know, but I don't listen.
All right. A lot of rocks to come around here. The way the sheet is curling, those can be effectively guards. You throw this one correctly. All right. Trying to get this rock to curl. Curling good. Would like to stay above the tee. Just skates to the back tee, as Mac likes to say. Or Benj Guzman. I guess that was a big Benj Guzman thing. He wants back tee weight.
Yeah. We shipped him off to Boston, and they like him out there, apparently. I don't know. Pretty good guy.
Seems like he'd be a Red Sox fan. Patriots fan. Good for him.
Cheering for winners.
Yeah. Good for you, Ben. bench. All right. Schneider now. That rock's in a pretty... Looks like he's going to play the red-yellow.
I like this call.
This one, he could potentially try to get the... He wants the shooter to stick around on this one. You never know now. There's not that many rocks in the ring, so... Never know. Could come in later.
Yeah, I think you'd throw this one with board weight or control, and you kind of try to stick around and just...
On this one right away.
Make the other team nervous.
Nancy Martin wants him sweeping. He's sweeping mad to get around the guard. Hit
Working
this
it.
thing thin enough. Just gets around. Drives the red into the yellow. Drives the yellow out of the rings. Well done. Probably would have liked a little more roll out of his shooter to access that red-yellow later, but pretty close. That was a good shot.
Yeah, I think, you know, Jamie's talking about coming in here and putting a rock in the top 8 foot, top 4 foot. I wouldn't even be afraid to come down to that rock in the back 8 foot and just say, I am not going to give up big end. But, you know, Jamie's chasing too. So I'm thinking, God, I really got to get a steal here.
Any chance you guard here? Guard that red raise?
You could also absolutely do that. I would not be opposed to that, because if you can take away that red, the one in the top 8 foot, that works pretty well. You know, if you go down to the rock in the back, you're biting a piece of the 4 foot.
Yep.
That's another way, but you know, you're basically saying, oh, you can have your 1 at that point. I think, but
here we go. If she does play the draw around this side, which she is, I mean, Nancy Martin's going to have a shot to play on that top 8 foot red rock to be able to move that back potentially into yellow shot stone or this one, depending on where it ends up.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be very careful of placement here, because there could definitely be a shot where they can pound it right into the pocket and get a double and sit 3, and you might be.
Well,
you see the red, boom, boom.
That is what it looks like. Oh, he's not looking at it, though. He's not looking at that red raise. I can't imagine they're both going to miss it. Somebody's going to see it. Nancy, leave it to the girl.
Yep,
leave it to the girl to see it.
Sees the angle. She's sizing it up.
There we go. All right. Now, first thing they're determining, can we make the double from the outside? I think that yellow jams into that back red. Now they're looking at playing the double red. Maybe they can't get enough on the...
This is the angle I was...
Is that what you're thinking?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, it's loaded for 3.
Yeah, I was thinking you could access that red rock in the 8 foot just by itself at an angle, but apparently not.
You could for 1, but I don't think so for 2.
Okay. All right.
You have to throw the Roger Thomas.
Nancy's ready. She's ready to go. Get your down here and sweep my rock.
That's right.
All right. Big shot here.
Big shot, and it's right on the edge of that 4 foot line where we've been seeing, you know, with a little bit of weight, you definitely see these rocks track. So,
okay.
With weight anyway. So, see, interesting to see.
There we go. She made a big raise beak earlier in the competition for 3 to close out the game earlier. All right.
Got to go on that one.
Sweeping hard on this, and then he's off, and now he's on again.
Look real close.
Looks really close. Now he's off.
Oh, see how it faded back?
Oh, man. Just missed it on the outside. Oof.
Steal a 2 for Dropkin Sinclair.
Steal a 2, yep. So now we are tied up after 4 ends, 3-3. A lot of action here on sheet 4. Love it.
That was I thought she had that when she let go.
Especially since when he was sweeping it, because it didn't look like it was going to over curl, so it looked like he had to be relatively close if he was hitting on it that hard. But
that's what I was saying is that's what I really noticed is right on the edge of that 4 foot line with bigger weight and a positive release, you're really seeing those rocks track back a little bit.
Yep.
Real release sensitive ice, which I think is just great championship quality ice. So.
One thing I wanted to ask you that I've noticed in this competition is that people rarely the whole power play thing. You get 1 per team per game when you have the hammer. This is the only time you can do it. But I rarely see anybody use it earlier than the 6th end. Seems like they're just saving it. And I was thinking, boy, wouldn't you? Is there ever an opportunity where you'd want to use it early in a close game or something? Maybe get out to a lead.
I think every team's a little different. Myself, I always like to think I'm going to have a lead late in the game.
So you use it more as a defensive position.
It's very much a defensive position. And the reason why I find it difficult to be offensive is you're not playing out to the wings very often, so you haven't played those paths. So when you go to try to make a fine, come around a guard in a path that you don't even know, gosh, do I take edge of the button? Do I take middle of the four? It's a little bit challenging to figure out where the line is unless you've thrown it in practice. And I don't see enough of these teams out here. Personally, I don't see them out here practicing that. And everybody's practicing coming to the middle because you get a few shots and they want that path warmed up for the DSC. So I think if you're going to make it as an offensive move, you've got to practice it in practice so that you know the line.
Interesting. That's good. Good to know.
That's just my theory.
Yeah.
That's just how I.
No, I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Because I was wondering, it just seems like if you have an avenue to potentially score some points, because we have seen the power play used, but typically it ends up being in a position where the team's down 4, down 5, that type of deal, and it seems to work pretty well to score some multiple points. And I was just thinking, gosh, what about in a tight game trying to get ahead of the game a little bit instead of waiting until you're down?
Yeah, see, I've struggled with it when I'm in tight games,
okay.
And we've tried it a few times. And I'll tell you, when you're down, it seems to work for teams because the other team just goes into ultra defensive. They're okay giving you 2,
yep,
maybe even 3, right?
Got
if
it.
they're up by enough points.
Okay.
I
like
think
it.
every team's different. I think
love it.
If you see them practicing it in practice, you might see them pull it out in a tighter game. But otherwise, I always like to save it as a defensive. If I'm at up 1 coming home or up 2, you can be guaranteed if I have the hammer, I will be doing that.
Got it. There we go. Jamie Sinclair now, first rock in the 5th. Very nice. Comes down, freezes the back red stone.
Jamie just showing us how it's done. She just has been drilling that shot.
Yep.
I am glad I'm not out there getting drilled.
Well, do you have Kristen shoot the first and last, or are you typically the one that does that, or do you guys hop around back and forth?
I do a little bit of back and forth, but generally I'm throwing the first and last because it feels more like skip shots, when you're first and last, and Kristen's more comfortable playing third when we're playing together.
Yep.
So for us, it works that way. I think every team's a little different. Once in a while, we shake it up. If I need a couple draws right in a row, just to kind of, because it's a little bit odd when you throw the first and the 5th. If you're throwing second, third, fourth, you get kind of that rhythm. You feel like you can really dial in on your draw weight. Sometimes first and 5th, it's just a wide variety. So sometimes I like to shake it up.
There we go. Okay, rock from Nancy Martin just skated a little bit further than she wanted to. Ended up, I think it just rubbed off that yellow. Corey Dropkin now with a lovely little pocket to draw into back there. I like to put this thing right in between the 2. Just nestle that in for the evening. Put a little blanket around it. Extra pillow if you need it. Coming in. Get a little rub off the red and move to the middle. That's totally fine. Just a little bounce off his own yellow, but.
So they're sitting 2, and unfortunately for them, they're just behind the button. So,
yep.
Catlin's going to be trying to draw right on top of there and maybe jiggle those things around a little bit.
Let's see if we can get 9 rocks there in the 4-foot instead of 8. Seems like there's room for a 9th one in there.
Oh, there definitely is. I mean, we'll just go show them how it's done.
That's it.
Go set it up. Pretty sure they're capable of it. These teams are just, their draw weight is just, it's amazing. I mean, until you've played this game, I know these teams are all drawing over and over into there, but you're throwing a rock and then you have to jump up and chase it down or have someone else come and sweep it, and then you don't have line calling, so it's more challenging than it looks.
Oh, it looks plenty challenging. All right, another stack right on top there. Nice work. Still a pocket from the outturn side, but that red rock there on top of everything is the problematic one. Not too worried about the reds that are behind the tee, but that one that's on top of the yellows, you're definitely worried about that one. Coming in with the outturn.
They're just piling them in again this end.
Yep. Round 1, little guard sitting there out there. board all by itself.
It's kind of amazing how one guard can just allow so many rocks to get piled.
Right. Wants this one to stop. Wants it to curl. It does. Nice work. Sweeper's delight. Didn't really have to do much on that one. Nice work. All right.
Yeah, looks like probably going to be running that red one right into the pocket there.
Can't run that into the pocket. We're trying to stack 9 rocks in there. What's that all about?
I don't know.
He obviously doesn't know the game we're playing. Somebody
go
give
stop
him a
him.
sign. Put a sign up. Draw. He is not drawing with that broom. That is not a draw.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the way he does throw
Here
because
she
you know,
comes.
a big weight coming.
Yep. He's going to wait. It's obviously not tight because he wasn't going to catch it. He needs to hit it. Oh, just misses the red, catches the yellow behind it, spits out a yellow out the other side. Wow.
That's that. You know,
Yep.
the big weight.
Yep.
You know, again, we've seen that now twice for them. They just missed both of those shots.
Okay. Team Sinclair now. Let's see. Corey's got, what has he got? He's got one more, and then her, and then Jamie. So, we got 2 rocks each left?
That
I have
is
to keep
correct.
doing the count. Got to put
Well-
those extra rocks up on the boards, man. I know it's a pain. Got to cool them off, get them back on the ice, but us
Yeah.
announcers, man, I can't keep doing math up here.
Well, you know, send you back to school with Sean. Sean's working on this type of stuff.
Counting to 8?
That's correct.
Okay, well,
So, you know, it's probably a good time.
yeah. Should learn it sometime. That's a good point.
Come on over.
All right. Looked like the call was for a little guard here to keep Catlin Schneider from throwing another heater down there. So he's
Yeah.
going to counter that by throwing a heater the other way.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly understand this call, but it's just going to probably blow out a yellow one of them out.
You don't think it spits them both?
I don't.
Okay.
But you know what? These rocks are a lot more active. These rocks are a lot more active than our old rocks. So it probably surprised me. And
Here it comes.
As long as it doesn't track on him and fall out again.
We'll know in a minute. Looks like he's pretty close to where he wanted to hit it. Bang goes the one yellow.
It spits out. And
Yep. So
It did
spit
spin
out.
out.
It spit the one that he hit out and didn't quite remove the other one. I don't know if that other one was removable because he looked like he hit that pretty close to where he wanted to hit
Yeah,
it.
that looked really good, right? So it
Okay.
definitely moved a little bit, though. And
Sure did. Exposed it. Got to be careful here now. Jamie Sinclair with her last.
Yeah, and Jamie's choosing to just play a shot probably to cut them down, maybe make their shot very difficult, as opposed to playing a lower percentage shot to maybe sit 2. She's choosing to probably play what I would consider definitely the smarter play and just kind of cut off the access to the 2 points.
Trying to freeze that corner red there.
Yeah, I think, freeze that corner red, probably could just, as long as she takes away, as long as she's at least full 4 foot, she's going to make that draw for 2. She just can't go deep. She's just got to stay in front of that rock.
Okay. Corey Dropkin staying close to the rock. Not really touching it. Looks like, yeah, all right. Yeah, he's getting close. It's pretty close. Now he's sweeping at the end. Just
Didn't want to finish.
Yeah, just a hair deeper than they wanted that one. I think they can come down and hit that one and still be fine. So,
Yep.
what weight do you like? It is, I don't know if there's a piece around that yellow guard or not.
It looks like that yellow rock is fully exposed. So, for me, it's about sweeper weight. What weight I feel like I can control it. I think on this type of ice conditions, I'd probably be throwing board if that rock is wide open.
Okay.
If it's not, I might just throw back 8 to back line.
Okay.
It's really about where you think you can find that stick to keep it straight enough with a little bit of sweeping. So,
Yep. Nose works here for 2. Nose, hair inside nose. Don't know if you can flop out much. I think you got to be nose, maybe just off nose on the outside, but not too far. So Nancy Martin rocks away here in the 5th. Wants to get this to turn. Catlin going back and forth. Now
Not
he's
sure
going to
which way.
sweep the outside, try to get this rock to turn a little bit, which it does. Outstanding weight. Great shot. Back line weight, fantastic. Came up great. A little off and on sweeping, gets there too. Nice work.
That puts them up by a score of 6-4 after 5 ends, and Dropkin and Sinclair chasing 2 now, and going to have the hammer.
We are definitely going to get you that LASIK deal here, dude. They got 2.
5-3.
5-3.
I definitely need it.
That was you gotta go easy on the vodka tonics there.
I
my
think
friend.
I need another. That's why I'm not.
You're just not dialed in there yet.
Not seeing straight yet.
All right, fair enough. Okay, quickly, let's go to the other sheets. Brady will tell you the teams. I'll tell you the score.
Tardy and Haas are chasing 6. They're chasing 6, so they're down 0-6 against the Kaltoff and Kasner rink.
Boy, they've been playing good. I've called a couple of their games, and Marlise. Is that right? Marlise
right.
Kasner just been fantastic. You were talking about the importance of that first shot. She's been throwing first and last stone, and every single time it's just right on there, right on there, just putting huge pressure on the other team.
That gets old when I'm playing against them.
Well, thank God you didn't have to do it then, huh?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. What about the other sheets here?
We've got a 3-3 tie. Croy Nürnberger and Nina Roth put 2 points on the board there in the 4th end against Charlie Thomas and Kaylin Virtue. So they have the hammer at the Park, and Virtue Rink has the hammer here in the 5th end. And over on sheet 1, we've got Derek McLean and Alex Carlson. They are down 4 points, so they're down 0-4 against Joe Polo and Tabitha Peterson. So.
All right, there we have it. Are they doing breaks after the 4th end in the playoffs?
They're not doing breaks, but it appears that after the last end as well as after this end, there's some conversation among the players in this game, in our feature game. It looks like someone replaced a broom after the last end. I don't know if something broke or if there was a head issue or what the situation is, and now it looks like perhaps another broom has been or is being replaced. So some conversation at the end of the sheet leading to delays.
All right, there you have it.
We've had a few broom issues here this week. We'll take a chance just to chat maybe a little bit about this, give a little bit of our listeners just a little breakdown. Obviously this year we all know that there's been some new equipment-related components, and we've changed out broom heads, and so the big thing that's going on here really is just that some teams aren't aware that you are unable to flip your heads inside out here. So we had a few teams flip their heads inside out, and as I understand it, the inside out portion of it has waterproofing on it, which allows you to have a little bit more control over those rocks, kind of like what was going on last year. And teams aren't just aware of that, and so we've had a few situations where teams were using those, and one team got called on it. A few other teams had used it during games, and people weren't really noticing. But we've addressed that and moving forward. And I think that hopefully this will be a lesson learned, and everybody can kind of be more aware of this going forward.
Get on the same page. Yeah. So are you finding that in most of the events that you're playing with now that they're using the new regulations?
Yeah, everywhere we're going, we're all using it. Any championship-related events, which of course these are when you're going and chasing points, everybody's having to use the same fabric. And it's the same fabric that everybody's using, even when they flip their heads inside out. It's just that there's the waterproofing type material that allows you to control the rocks a little more.
There we go. Thank you for that. That's good. All right. First rock was thrown here in the 6th. Came up a little bit short of the rings. Just tapped their own guard over. Jamie Sinclair now with the in-turn draw, going to try to come down to hers. Probably wants to stay a little bit short of that, short of the tee line, maybe top 4. Corey Dropkin now sweeping this one. Very good. Clears the guard, gets it in top full 4. Very good. That's exactly where you would want to put this rock.
I love that rock.
There we go. There. Nice work.
So we got a little update about the brooms, and what was going on is that the broom the component stopped working on this broom, on the hardline broom, and so they basically went and swapped it out for another broom the same type of hard line, and they were removing the cover, so that he was still using the exact same cover, so that he wasn't getting a brand new broom head in the middle of a game.
There we go. Nice work.
Investigative reporter
that
Harry
was
Saylor.
Fantastic. Yes. Nice work. All right. Catlin Sinclair now comes down to Schneider. Sinclair, is that what I said? Catlin Schneider, sorry.
Say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I know. Catlin. We'll just call him Catlin. Trying to come down to the yellow stone. Just pulls up a hair short of the top 4 foot. Now, Corey Dropkin really trying to apply a little pressure here. Get another rock into the rings. In the scoring position. Sweeping madly on this for line. Gets around. Oh, just rubs. Boy, sweeping feverishly on that one, too. I'd have been tired by now. I'm no lie here.
I'm pretty sure you're tired, even just watching it.
Your shirt's pretty sweaty, I must say.
I'd have been tired right after I threw it, before even getting to the rock there. I'm not sweeping it. You might want to come down here and get this. Yeah.
That's a safe bet.
All right. Catlin now. Come down, make a play on his own, just promote his red one up a little bit. Don't know if they could see enough to really do any kind of up weight with this to try to remove a yellow. Oh, that's got a little weight on it. Trying to just get around those top 2 guards. Sweeping hard to get around the guards, yelling for him to sweep to get around the guards. Just do. Great shot. Red into yellow. Pushes back the back yellow. Very nicely done.
That was a great shot.
Yep. Just got a little unlucky where his shooter rolled.
That was always going to be the concern there with that shot, right?
Yep.
You're going to roll out in the open, and Corey's going to be trying to play a little double for 4, sitting behind cover.
Yeah, with one of them, even more importantly, above the T-line center. Right down the center here. So, boy, he makes this shot, and that's going to put some big pressure on T. Martin. Good game.
They are making a lot of shots. If we were statting this, I would say they're easily playing in the 80s, possibly even 90s. in mixed doubles, I don't know exactly where people stat out, but I would say 70 to 75% is a pretty solid game.
All right,
so
double.
Corey says,
bang,
money.
Have a nice day. See you next year.
That was
Good shot.
That was a great shot.
All right. Well, we still have access to a yellow shot stone that's sitting behind the tee. The tricky part here is it's out in the open a little bit. So even if you freeze this, you're freezing to shot stone, yes, and you'll be shot, but you're not behind any cover.
This is quickly turning into a fairly dangerous end.
Yep. The other option, you could come down to it, maybe flop on the inside a little bit so you get the benefit of cover here.
I like that call.
All right. Rocks away. Sweeping now. Sure for line. Okay, just look like playing a little wick here. Staying on the same side, got to get around that guard. But get around the guard, comes down to it. Just gets to the inside corner. All right. One of those, you probably, if you had your druthers, want to freeze right on the nose of that.
Yeah, definitely. It's now I don't know if Corey can see any of this, because if Corey could see any of it, you got to think that Corey would be bringing the weight. It's almost tempting to just run the front.
Run the front red?
Yeah, just double them off. I don't know. You got a lot of kickers laying around. I think it's interesting because you don't see many teams clear.
You do not. Not in mixed doubles. And that was a couple things from earlier in a couple of games. I thought there were, if it was a normal curling 4-person thing, it seemed like clearing the guards out front was obvious. And in mixed doubles, you just don't see it. You don't see a lot of teams just All right, here we're in a great spot. Let's get these guards. These are the ones that, that's the only rocks they can hide behind. We clear those, you know where they're going to hide, and you really don't see that much in mixed doubles.
Yeah, I think the challenge is that, with when you're hitting and you either have no sweeper if you choose to, have the person holding the broom, or you have one sweeper and you don't get someone holding the broom.
Mm-hmm. All right, out turn, trying to drive the yellow 12-foot stone into the red. Hits it. Oh, hits the rock. What a great shot that was. Holy cow. He is feeling it right now. Wow, that was a great shot. That was not an easy shot. All right. Okay, now Team Martin with her last. We got 4 yellow rocks. We got no red rocks. They need to, they got to hide this one somewhere.
We've got a special guest speaker that's going to be joining us here in just a few minutes.
Okay.
At the end of this end.
That's good, because I need to take a bathroom break anyway, so that'll work out good.
I figured you needed a refill on your drink.
Well,
I do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right away.
Yes.
Another double?
I thought this was a
so
triple.
to speak. All right. I think the call is to come off that 8-foot and roll to the center.
Yeah.
That's what they called.
Yep, I like that call. Gosh, that was just a great shot.
Sure was. He is feeling it right now. He's playing the hits really good. Sweeping this one. Got to hold this one out. Do not want to rub that top one.
Might be playing a double.
Yep.
Playing the
hits the yellow,
double,
rolls across.
right in front of it.
Oh, that's really good. Oh,
that
boy,
might be better than the call.
Yeah, it's just. Did he roll too high up? Does that thing bounce out on its own, or is that back yellow? Is that a jam rock?
I think it's a jam rock.
I
think it's a jam.
Wow, what a boy! Bailed him out on that one. Great shot, Nancy Martin.
Nice job, Nancy.
She was put to the test on that one.
We're asking her to play the freezes on her first one. She's been making them all game,
yeah.
And then she says, "Oh, by the way,
yeah,
this is how you do it."
All right. From what I see, what I saw before they went away, it looked like they were gonna draw for the 2. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I just don't know if I truly think it's for 2. I think it's for 1.
No kidding. I think the red shot there. Wow.
I sure do.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
even better.
Yeah.
All right. Out turn draw. Needs full 4-foot. Around, sitting out there a little bit. This looks like it's got a little weight to it.
This is always those shots where that weight is so sensitive, right? If you got to know exactly the weight you're going to throw.
Yep. Looks like it's skating
so
on
they're
the
going
outside
from
here.
Potentially playing to 4 to.
Wow. Boy, it turns quick, doesn't it? Looks like red. Well, they're going to look at it. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and take a break here. Same thing there, Brady?
Yeah,
okay.
let's go with that.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Looks like they're going to be swinging the stick here, and as Doug goes to refill some beverages, we're going to bring in a special guest hailing from the fantastic state of Alaska. There's a few curlers up there. Did anybody know that? It turns out there's even a few in the high-performance program that are hailing from that great state of Alaska.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot else to do up there. So,
that's right. Well, you might be going on a sled or whatever, but maybe going to catching some salmon. Netting them, netting them.
Dip netting them.
So we got Quinn. So Quinn, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Wish could have done a little better this weekend, but guess that's how it goes sometimes. Mixed doubles is funky, man. It takes some getting used to.
Yeah, and you were playing with maybe another Alaska native, huh?
Yeah, I was playing with Vicky Persinger, who the rest of the mixed doubles season's playing with Jared Zezel. But he was in Crookstown this weekend at a men's spiel, so she asked if I wanted to sub in for this one, and had the weekend off, so I figured why not.
Right on. You've been traveling all over the country this year. I swear, everywhere I turn, you're there.
Right. Yeah, we've been running into each other a decent bit on the tour. It's been fun. We get a week and a half long at this one, and then after this on Monday we drive up to Cranbrook, BC for the Tier 2 Slam.
Yeah, that's how's your season going so far with that team? You guys have got a real nice team.
Yeah, going really good. We've been 5-man team, so we've been rotating in and out a little bit, but it's been going really good. We've been really successful, getting along really well. Who won that measure there, Brady? I didn't see.
I'm gonna go with the Martin Schneider rink, but that was just based purely on what I was thinking was what it was before the stick was swung.
Right. From up here, it didn't look like it was too close.
It didn't, but I've been wrong many times. So
yeah. So have I.
Let's see. Did you have a good time here this week?
I did. I really like Seattle. I've been here a decent amount. Really cool city, and the club here is really nice. I like the new rocks. New rocks are really awesome.
Yeah, we're getting striking bands. So I think I was wrong. It looks like what Corey's doing. So Corey's got the hammer. So that does mean that I was right.
Red did
scored.
get the point there. Stole the one.
So that puts him up a score of 6-3 over Dropkin, and Dropkin is saying, "Hey, we're gonna do the power play here in the 7th end."
Right,
So
they're down 3 right now. So scoring a decent amount here is pretty important.
Yeah, definitely. How'd the power play work out for you guys when you guys did it this week? I'm curious.
All right. Still figuring out a decent bit. I think being defensive with it when you're not using it is what we were really working on. It's decently easy to score with it just because it is a really good setup. But I think when it's used against you, it's a really funky way to defend against it because first thought you want to just peel that guard, right? But you can't for the first few throws, so it's kind of tricky figuring out where to put that first. I really like the call where you split the corner guard into the house. I think that's what we figured out was working better.
Yeah, that's it. I noticed Charlie's been playing that. Charlie Thomas and Kaylin are playing that, and I like it. Personally, when a team's using that power play, I've been just drawn in the top 8, top 4 foot, and saying, "Well, come get me," because they can't do anything with that. Well, they can tap you.
Right, and if you do that, and then you throw a nice center guard on that too, then you're buried top 4 behind the center guard. Then they got to make a play to the center.
That's what I've been doing. But if you don't make that guard or you don't make your draw,
then they hit and then they roll. Yeah, exactly. Then you're not looking too good.
Yeah, so it's definitely an interesting deal. So they're looking at the setup again to kind of make sure that they got the rock set up. So what else has been new? What else is going on with you? What else is going on with Quinn?
A lot of curling, man. Pretty busy. Moved back to Duluth for the winters. It's kind of the hub for the curling. Flying from Alaska gets expensive every weekend. So
yeah, I know. Having Greg on our team, talk about ticket prices, and
right.
It's like, wow, this one's going to be $1,000. It's not bad.
Yeah, yeah, $1,000 and stay somewhere 3 days.
Yeah. And we're always going to amazing places. I mean, I love traveling to Canada. I actually love Canadians. It really is a lot of fun. But some of the places we get to go to sometimes, you kind of just laugh. We use all of our vacation time for
Eveleth, Minnesota.
Not that we have anything against Eveleth, Minnesota. Right. It's a beautiful place.
It is a gorgeous place.
It's Iron Range. It's a little cold in December.
I don't think I've ever been colder in my life than at the Eveleth Cash Spiel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that tick we were talking about, Brady, they're trying that right now.
Yeah. It's really interesting. And look at this one. They might just clear that. Oh, they just get the guard.
Right. Not a bad result.
That's great.
Best, I think, is if you tick it right, top 4 foot or even all the way over to the other side, T-line.
Yeah. I love that call if you're going to make it. Which
I do too.
She just did. Nancy has just been owning. I mean, she has just played great. Both teams are playing really well this game, but, I just feel like she's just making everything. A lot of fun out here.
I don't pay a whole lot of attention to mixed doubles. Do you know if this team's been together for a while?
I know they played together last year, or I'm pretty sure they did, and they've been spieling a bit this year. So I'm trying to remember how they did. I know they played in Saskatoon last year at the Nutana Club.
Okay.
So I feel like they made the playoffs last year.
So a decent amount of mixed doubles experience on the sheet then, huh? I mean, them doing all the spiels, and then Corey, who did the New Zealand thing and curling night in America and all that stuff. So a decent amount of mixed doubles experience.
Yeah, Corey's been he's had quite a bit, and Jamie she looks like a natural. She actually looks she's playing really well out there. So
I actually played with Jamie last year in mixed doubles, and I don't think I helped the team out a whole lot because she's doing a lot better this year with it than.
So do we want to say you got dumped?
I mean, I don't want to be that harsh about it, Brady, but I think that's what happened.
Oh man, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know.
Quinn's a pretty good guy. For those of you that don't know Quinn, you should. You want to get to know him. A lot of dudes seem to have bromances with you. Is that true?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, though.
I was just noticing that the other day. It's like all the guys that are kind of, a little younger. I'm kind of an old man for, in comparison to you, but
You're not old. You're just seasoned.
Seasoned. I think I got called a silver fox the other day. I was like, oh my God, that is by a mogwai or a gremlin. I was like, come on, that's not cool. Man.
Silver fox. I guess there's worse things.
I didn't know how to take it, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what?
Thanks.
I wasn't sure how to go with that one, so.
All right,
As
enough silver fox. Back to curling here.
Yeah, right on.
Corey Dropkin really hitting this one. Oh, just got by.
Corey's his sweeping ability. I mean, people always joke skips can't sweep.
Right.
I feel like Corey's really worked on it and embraced the physical side of the aerobic side and working on the fitness.
Yeah, I know he's been working a lot on his sweeping. Going from playing back end for so long to front end, I know talking this year he was, working really hard on that transition.
He's such a good demeanored kid. He's such he's just a nice guy, right? I mean, when I talk to him, I'm just how grounded he is. I mean, he's obviously done very well with his career in curling.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he can bring it.
So the last one over curling just a bit, so have an opportunity here to freeze down. Looks a little bit heavy, like it's hanging out.
So I'm going to draw in there and sit two, but might be a double there.
Yeah, not really sure. Can't tell too much how much of that rock is showing, but maybe with a light, board weight or control weight, you can get in there and make the double and maybe get a little roll underneath too.
It's a big shot for Corey. So it's they really need to post. Ideally they post 3 or 4 here. If you post 3, you can steal in this game.
Right, it's definitely, I think, easier to steal in mixed doubles than it is regular curling. Even if you're down 1 and you have to steal, it's definitely a possibility, because if you can make that first draw really good, you're in super good position.
Yeah, absolutely. Corey going down, take a little extra look here and kind of talk about the angles. They've been moving pretty fast this game. I think earlier this week we had a little event where they had about a minute to throw the last shot, ended up not quite getting that shot off, and then they actually, the only game that they lost all week, they were up by I think 4 coming home,
something like that, yeah.
And they ended up losing that game. So maybe it was 3. They were up by 2, but I think obviously it was a tight game, and they were talking about shots, and they just didn't get their last shot off in time. So they've that team has been playing really well. Really,
yeah, they have
put themselves in position to win every game, and so.
Yeah, the time thing. I think they added a couple minutes to the clock halfway through this event because they were realizing how many teams were, cutting it down to the 5 seconds. Like, I know we played one game where after I let go of my last rock, I had 2 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, so it turns out you made a pretty decent shot on that one.
Yeah, that was kind of a crapshoot. But
I don't think you should clean your rock or really take any extra time.
No, I guess I shouldn't. No pre-shot routine or anything. Just get in and fire. Not sure how well that'd work on draws, but I guess on appeal it works okay.
You brought heat on that. I'll bet you that was sub 6.
I hope so. Yeah. All right, Corey, looks like they're opting for nice controlled weight. I don't know if they decided on the double or not, Brady, but.
Yeah, that's always the interesting piece here, right? It's like you don't always, when you got 2 people, they don't have to communicate down to the other end. So.
Oh, just got that by. Man, that spot really curls there.
Yeah.
Nice little catcher on that yellow there. Did they get shot? Doesn't look like they did, but.
No, but that's that rock. I mean, look at he cleared that so close that he got the inside roll. Oh, wow.
Ice has been really swingy this week. I mean, for draws to the button, we were given mid 12-foot.
Yeah, that's where I was aiming as well, and so you got a good 5 feet of curl, and the ice has just been, there's nothing but positive things that we could say about the ice crew this week for myself.
Definitely, I think I've heard nothing but good things from all the players.
Yeah, we were really excited that we got the type of field that we got this year, and we had a few additional teams at the end that wanted in as well. We had China talked about coming in, and we had some more teams from Brazil, and So we're really looking forward to building this into a huge successful event. hopefully
Yeah,
going
mixed
forward.
doubles is getting more popular every year too. So I think it's just going to keep growing.
So just going to give you guys a quick update on Sheet 5 and Sheet 1. So Kaltoff and Kastner won. We know it was at least 7. I know they played the 6th end. Not sure what happened in the 6th end, but we're going to say the final is 7-0 there. And then over on Sheet 1, we had I am drawing it. Peterson and Polo won by a score of 7-0 over Alex Carlson and Derek McLean. You know, Derek McLean and Alex Carlson battled through a tiebreaker earlier today. They had a couple tight games. Looks like they just came out maybe a little bit flatter. Maybe Tabs and Joe just played really sharp and
Right,
took it to
it's
them.
really tough coming off of a game like that and then having to get right back on the ice. I mean, not just physically, but kind of turning your head from that game, you know, and bringing it to. It's definitely an advantage to have the break in between.
Yeah, so we're 6-3 here again after 6 ends, and so 6-3 is the lead for the Martin rink over the Sinclair rink. And then over on Sheet 2, we've got the Virtue and Thomas rink versus Croy Nürnberger and Nina Roth, and that game is a score of 6-4 is what it's showing on here, but I don't know if that's right. I thought it was 4-2, but we'll validate this in a minute. I've been struggling with numbers today, Quinn. Not really sure why.
Yeah.
It is 6-4. I'm wrong again.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
They posted a big 3 there in the 5th end, so it's 6-4, and Charlie and Kaylin have hammer. It looks like they might be drawn potentially for 3 and probably the win here.
Yeah, it is easy to score in mixed doubles, but might be mathematically out at this point.
Yeah, down by 5 in the last end against that team.
Jamie and Corey having a big discussion here. It's kind of a critical moment here. The double on the 2 reds there really isn't. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, you'd have to hit that 1/4 of an inch on that top red there, but
Yeah, that's a tough shot. What would you play?
I don't know. Let's see. Corey's. Is this Corey's last?
Yeah, Corey's last, so Jamie's got one more.
Okay. Well, I think right now not a good setup for making a shot because you have that in the outturn draw to the button for your 1, but really here, definitely get a better setup. So I mean, even if you can get a little hit and roll off that outside red, I might play that. Maybe jostle that yellow that's on that 4-foot around a little bit, so you might be able to have a play on it next shot.
Yeah.
Hitting this one all the way, really curling inside out here. Nice little roll, little tap to shot, it looks like.
Yeah, that was actually a really, really good shot because it opens up. You've got access from both sides.
Right, that little move over, you can make that outturn, maybe even a hack waiter and get that red out of there and sit 3 if they don't make a really good shot here. So really nice play there from Corey.
Kaylin made her draw there for the 3rd point, and that's going to be a final of 9-4. They defeat the Nürnberger and Roth team and eliminate them. So.
When we played Croy this week, we were up 6 after the 4th end, and they battled back and won.
How'd that feel?
Not good. Just shows, though, that, I mean, mixed doubles is, if you're in regular curling and you're down 6 most of the time, you shake hands, really. But
yeah,
mixed doubles, it's not easy, but you can definitely score over and over and over again.
I'm curious, when you did that, did you decide to go defensive, or did you guys continue to play the similar aggressive game that you typically play?
It's kind of hard sometimes because normally in regular curling you can be defensive even from the leads rock right away. You throw a top 4, you can maybe play the ticks, you can be defensive right off the bat. But in this one, since you can't hit until the 4th rock thrown, you can have a ton of rocks in play before you can even hit. And at that point, a lot of times, you're committed to an aggressive strategy, even if you weren't trying to.
Right.
And so that's what happened to us a lot because Croy Nina would make their first 2 really good in the 4-foot, and then at that point, you're kind of forced into playing a tap freeze game, and they just had the better hand on us with that. So.
Yeah, I've found over the years that I feel like I get myself into trouble when I try to end up trying to get too defensive.
Right.
The game gets a little frustrating at times when you're not making the shots that you think you should make.
Exactly.
It's just not as easy, though. I'm not making excuses about it, but I mean, this game is tough when you don't have the extra data points, the extra sweepers.
Right. I'm used to old Sean and Smitty or Croy sweeping my ruck, so I get a little extra help by doing that.
Some animals.
I know. I got a lot of room for error. Especially guards. I can throw it like barely a hog line, and they'll get it to top 12.
That's good.
All right. Jamie having looks like an out-turn draw to the button here for possible 2.
Yeah,
it's interesting how they have the rule now where someone always doesn't have to be in the house, so you can choose whether or not you want to aim at a broom and sweep it yourself, or if you want a sweeper right off the bat. So it's interesting, kind of the strategy there for when you want to throw at a broom or when. It's definitely different. Really nice weight here. Just got to curl a little bit. Oh, that's close.
Perfect weight. She may or may not. It looks like. I want to say 2. Producer, Mr. Rimple, is saying he thinks it's just 1.
Well, for sake of this game, to make it exciting, I hope it's 2.
I agree. The way that both teams have played, let's make it 2. Swinging the stick.
We had 3 measures in our game this afternoon. Or not this afternoon, against Croy. We had 3 measures.
How many went your way?
Well, one was they had 1 for sure, and it was for a possible 5, and they only ended up getting 3. So I don't know if that's a win or if that's a lose.
I guess you got 2 your way and 2 their way. I think that's a push. It's like when you get 21, you got 21, you draw to 21 and the dealer hits 21 as well, and you're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Oof. This is a big point.
This is a huge point.
You're down 1, you can definitely steal 1, maybe 2. Chasing 2, it's going to be really tough.
Right, stealing 1 to force the extra is definitely doable. Just the 1.
Just the 1. So that second point, Jamie throws that right to the tee line. Corey sweeps it right to the tee line. That rock just didn't curl up enough, and
that's a tough spot. Hitting the side 4-foot is one of the tougher shots.
Agreed.
You're so used to playing, with the DSC, and then everything else, it's all to the button, and then you move that stick out just that 6 inches, and the speed changes quite a bit, especially late in the game like this.
Yeah. Right on. Well, I'm going to step away. I'm going to let Doug fill in for me, and you can finish this game off for us. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Good luck. Maybe we'll see you somewhere soon.
Yeah, sounds good.
Maybe Cranbrook. Who knows?
Yeah.
Take care.
You too, Brady.
All right. What did I miss?
I missed a pretty exciting end, actually. Jimmy had a really kind of tough draw, but a nice opportunity to get a 2. She had to touch right on the tee line, touch the button for a 2, and it was just overswept, maybe half an inch. They had to measure. So now they're down 2, battling the steal and against the power play, too. So really, this is going to be a really tough last end here for Jamie and Corey.
Tough position, down 2 without, yes.
Yeah, if they get that extra point, me and Brady were talking, it's, especially in mixed doubles, it's not easy, but it's a lot easier in mixed doubles to steal than it is in regular curling, but the 2 definitely makes it tougher.
All right, so center guard being put up. Successful, close to the rings. Now, what do you like? What do you like to do? You're 2 up with. What do you do with that?
I would say go around, just because since those guards are staggered, you can make the double peel. But I think if you can beat them to the 4-foot early, then you definitely have a good shot.
All right. So
looks like that's what they're calling.
Yep. Trying to go around the center guard. This rock's going to curl. I think it might end up coming up, and actually they might be tapping this rock a little bit.
Yeah, the split's not a bad shot here at all. It's not bad at all, and roll behind the corner. That is a really well thrown rock there.
Splits off, rolls around the corner. Outstanding.
That you really can't throw the rock better than that. That was a beautifully played shot.
Everything's open in the center, which is what they like.
That's really good to make that now, too, because no matter where Corey puts this next rock, they can start with the peeling.
Yep. Almost at this point, you almost got to put another center up, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. Put the center up and hope that they nose the peel or make a mistake somewhere.
Start hiding around that, yeah. Can't really use, not that you would, but the way that red rock that was just thrown ends up rolling behind cover there. I mean, you can't use anything over here.
No, if it would have rolled a little bit more, you could have done the freeze on that one that's on the tee line. But yeah, just rolled to a perfect spot there.
Play it to the center now. Right. Rock's hanging just a little bit. May come up just a little bit at the end.
Hits those 4-foot lines, really starts moving.
Yep.
Good shot there from Corey.
All right. Just gets into the 12-foot. A couple things we're thinking about here. If I may make this double, got to be careful that. It looks like they're going to play it this way, trying to slash double.
Yeah, I think at this point since you're up 2, you don't really have to worry about sticking around at all. So making the slash double, and also if you're playing the double in this way,
definitely don't want to jam on your own.
Definitely don't want to jam. No, because if you just peel that top center on off, you're sitting count in the back there. So that's a perfectly fine result.
So Team Martin sitting in a really good position here. Gonna try to peel out of the end, which is a luxury you don't have in mixed doubles as often as you do in a normal curling four-person game.
Yeah, you really hit this rock anywhere on the high side, and you get a pretty good result out of it.
And like you said, you don't care if you're bouncing off any of yours.
Right, you just want to roll out.
Deal.
Good result there.
Good shot.
And then now you're sitting 1 and 2 again. So at some point, Corey and Jamie are going to have to make a play on these 2 reds. What's your call here? Kind of a rough situation here. You don't have a whole lot going if you're yellow.
3 rocks left to throw. If you're yellow, I think I might be tempted to put one more center up just to see, hope for a miss. I mean, you're going to need a miss one way or the other.
Right.
Probably going to need a couple.
The center guarder, I think what they called here is this weird port to the freeze or maybe a tap.
Mm-hmm.
Set up some backing for you, so there's more things to jam on with the peel.
Yep.
That is a really tough board, though.
And Team Martin will, they'll be okay with that because, again, they're playing out on the wing. They're playing maybe to touch the 8-foot. So.
Right. Even at this situation, even if Corey does make a perfect shot here, they still have the whole 8-foot to draw to.
They'll be hitting something, that's for sure.
Right. Yep.
All right. In turn, drawing out to the side, trying to make it through the port. Little freeze tap on that red one that's sitting way out on the side. This rock needs to curl. So he's going to make contact with the top red.
Might roll a little bit to the center line here. Ooh.
He doesn't want to roll to the center. Didn't want to do that for sure. All right. Straight peel. Don't need to stick around.
Nope. Sitting 1 and 2 or 3. 2 and 3. Sorry. We'll be sitting 1 and 2 if you can make this peel. So.
And if you stick around, Team Sinclair might decide to go around it. So no reason to stick there. Just get it out of there. Probably do the same out-turn peel. Bounce into their own. It's no big deal as long as they're bouncing in it with a red rock and not a yellow one.
Right.
Going to look at it. Check the angles. Just make sure. If he's got the time, why not? Can't imagine that he's talking about trying to make the double. That looks really flat.
I think what he's trying to do is maybe roll over those guards or roll the frozen. Because I think one worry that you could have, it'd be really tough to do. But if you were ever to hit that yellow and double your reds out and roll out, Corey can suck one into there. And again, they still have the whole 8-foot to draw too, but then if you, for some reason, throw your draw through, you steal 2.
Yep. Sometimes you can overthink these things too, though. You're trying so hard to stick around a little bit, and now all of a sudden you do beak it. Give the other team something to go around. You're really worried about someone freezing the corner 12-foot rock.
Right. The main goal is to just make contact on the right side from the shooter side of that yellow. I wouldn't really at this point be too concerned what happens with those reds over there. They're not really doing much for you at the moment. Opting to throw the intern on this, though.
Yeah, all right.
Coming down, no sweep.
Half rock works here. All right.
Looking pretty good, not going to jam, rolling out.
Yep, that works. All right. 2 yellow rocks left, followed by 2 yellows and 2 reds left. They got to get both of them in here for count. Where can you hide? You can't really hide anywhere.
I think that, if you corner freeze on that top red one, hopefully get shot, but I think if the call is to definitely the dead freeze on those reds.
Yep. In turn, corner freeze.
Really important, you don't want to bump here.
Yep.
Because if you bump and roll open, again, they'll have the option to just peel.
Pretty close. Sweeping
Looking pretty close.
Now he's off.
Looking really, really good.
Yep.
Got to curl up just a little bit.
Just comes down right to it.
A little bit of a tap, but that's
pretty darn good.
That's a pretty good result. Yeah, ideally.
Got shot out of it too.
Yeah, I did. Ideally, you're just a little bit curled more, but at this point, you have to be pretty happy with that result.
Absolutely. But any reason not to peel the guard?
Right-hander, you can see all of that yellow stone, though, right? So.
What happens if you peel the guard? What are they gonna do with the next one?
I think if they peel the guard, what I would do is go center line, just enough into the 8-foot to where you're shot, but to where if they nose the rock, they're not counting. So right on the center line, if you go half into the 8-foot to outcount that red, so you're sitting 1 and 2.
Yep.
Force them, because at that point yellow would be sitting 1 and 2, so they would have to throw kind of a tough draw really at this point in the game to the 4-foot.
Well,
or I'm thinking for Corey's next. Sorry, I'm looking at this weird.
Right. But even if Corey does that, you peel the guard here, Corey puts one. You just have to hit it because they're not 1 and 2. You got your red ones over here that are out counting that other yellow, right?
Yeah, I'm saying if he did peel this guard now and Corey does throw one top 8, then he is sitting 1 and 2. Or is that yellow not out counting that red?
But then you just have to hit one, right? If he puts it on the center, all you got to do is hit it.
But if
they're down 2, they're up 2.
Oh, they're at 2.
Yeah,
right. Gosh, I'm all over the place looking at
it's all good. But he's not going to peel, so he's putting it in the rings. See what happens here. Guess if he counts the yellow, just needs to put this in a place where Corey can't hit it and hide anywhere, and then he's going to have a wide open hit. Was last, in theory. All right,
good
nice
spot.
weight. Okay. Look like we got a little wheel call here. Try to get a rock over into those other reds. I don't think it's deep enough though to make the wheel
It's definitely
work.
there, but that's kind of that's something you throw in practice at the end when you're having a little fun.
Just for kicks. That's right. See if we can make it. If we wanted to.
I think you still can just hit that red and roll over to the backside 8-foot, maybe a little half berry behind those reds and.
I think the wrong time clock's rolling here. Would be my guess. All right. Talking about the options, if there are any.
What do you like? What do you like here? Is the call?
I don't like anything. I don't think that there's much. I don't think you can hide it anywhere. Need a miss. Just need a flat-out miss.
I think you call the hit and roll, and then just cross your fingers and hope that his rock is completely set out and misses, or whatever else.
It does happen.
Right, it happened to me a lot this weekend. That's why I'm sitting up here.
Yeah. All right. So if I'm reading the signs correctly, I think the call is to hit about a third of that top yellow. Bounce those 2 reds out a little bit. Yellow comes across, hits the red. I don't know why that's any different than just hitting the red.
Right.
Because either way, that yellow rock is still going to be sitting over there.
I think the idea is to be sitting 3, so that if on his
hit and roll out,
on his last they hit and roll out, they still win.
I think that's exactly it. There you go.
The degree of difficulty on the shot is definitely super high, but if you do make it, you're sitting pretty good.
And you have put some pressure on. Yeah, you force a hit and stick. That's a lot different than just making contact, for sure.
Exactly.
All right, let's see it. Just for kicks. I like it. Got to hit about a third of that for that yellow one to stick around.
Got to throw some pretty big weight to make both those reds go, too, since they're frozen.
Box away. Turn.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Close.
Missed the guard on the red, over just a little bit, too.
Just hit it a hair too thin. Wow. That was a pretty good attempt right there.
Yeah, that was
that'd have been fun to see. Okay. So with that, they've run out of rocks. Still rocks to be thrown, so technically an X in the end. So this will go down as a 6-4 victory for Nancy Martin and Catlin Schneider. Thank you for tuning in for tonight. The next broadcast will be 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for the semifinals. We will have, if I can read the names right, on our feature sheet, Team Martin will now be playing the winner of that's top-seeded Dustin Kaltoff and Marlise Kasner. That'll be in one semi, and the other semi, I believe, Charlie Thomas and Kaylin Virtue won that game, if I remember correctly. Yes, 9-4. And they will play Joe Polo, Tab Peterson in the other semi. Set again for 9 o'clock semi tomorrow morning. We hope you all will tune in.
And just a reminder, here in the Seattle area, it is the fall season set the clocks back tonight. So 9 a.m. for us will be an hour shifted from what you might imagine it to be tomorrow.
Does that mean I get to sleep an hour extra or an hour less?
It's fall back, so you get to sleep an hour extra.
No, I think that's an hour less.
Is it?
9 to 8.
No,
I think you're right.
Fall back, right?
Yeah,
Set your clock
you're right.
back tonight
All right.
and go to bed.
Hooray!
So 1 extra hour of sleep for us.
I'm going to stay for an extra drink then. Thank you for
that. We'll be an hour
that.
later than you might anticipate tomorrow
Nicely
morning.
done. On behalf of everyone involved, we hope you've enjoyed this webcast of the 2016 Pacific Northwest Mixed Doubles Invitational, and we hope to have you tune in tomorrow morning. Thank you, Chris.